Alright, Leo, hope that you're great. Welcome to my channel, Adrian H here. Let's look, oh, that was really fast. That was really fast. We're looking at your general reading for love, what to do next. You got peace. It just popped out. How beautiful is that? You know, some of you might be at a space where you are just feeling absolutely, totally and completely depleted. You are tired, your soul is tired, and you know, with everything that's happening in the world at the moment, everything that's happening globally, there's a lot of heaviness that is in our energy at the moment. And I just want to explain that to you very quickly. I know we're speaking about love, but I want to explain this to you so you can see how it all fits in. So when we think of human consciousness, or actually let's just think of consciousness, because everything is just consciousness. And within all the possibilities of consciousness, there is human consciousness. So within all these possibilities of consciousness, here we come forth with our emotions and experiencing life. But you know, I think we set out with all these really high ideals and goals for how to live life. And then when we're in life, we go like, oh my goodness, you know, we forget all of those things. And normally with my regression hypnosis sessions, what would happen is like, you know, if the session calls for it, or there's time, then I would normally like to sort of guide my client to the soul plane, where you get to experience what it's like when the soul just sort of leaves the body and you're connecting. And you know, so that is not for everyone, but sometimes it's really beautiful in the session itself. And you get to see these beautiful ideals and these beautiful goals that you had when you set out to come and have this experience of life. But then when we get here, a little bit of a different story, because now everything is so overwhelming. Now the thing to remember is that when you think of consciousness floating into human form being, you are floating into a pattern that already exists. So you're like a cycle that's entering a broader sort of cycle, really. And what I'm saying by that, and this is how I like to explain that, is that, you know, if you are, for example, a 35-year-old woman and you've got certain problems and certain concerns and you come see me for that, and then you go to a previous life and maybe you end up being like a very fierce sort of male gladiator that lived, you know, many years ago. The sort of problem that you're dealing with at the moment could have actually initiated back then already. So say now you're struggling with love and it's difficult for you to find love or to keep on to love or just have that peaceful sort of flow with love, and maybe you are able to sort of like clear everything else out in your life. You're very able to do that and to help other people, but when it comes to your life and your love and your experience of love, then it's a lot more challenging for you to find that beautiful middle ground in between. And then maybe when you go back to that space before where, you know, you were a gladiator, I mean, think about it. Gladiators, they're very sort of glorified sometimes, you know, when we look at things like films and stuff like that. But these people were technically slaves. They were held in captivation. They were forced to exercise whether they wanted to or not. If they didn't, they would get whipped and, you know, all horrible things could happen to them. And you feel you've got no power. You feel you've got no love. And so going forward then into this incarnation of life, because remember, consciousness keeps on evolving. We recycle sort of bodies, and you know, it's like putting on different clothes. You take this off, you put that sort of on, and that is sometimes how it is with bodies as well, and gender, and you know, we really kind of go to town with these things, but it's really just it's an illusion. Everything is an illusion. But so why did you then choose this illusion of the 35-year-old woman, you know, who's struggling with love? Because maybe way back then you didn't feel the experience of love. You didn't feel the connection of love. You felt powerful, you know, and then maybe now you say, okay, I don't know what's going on. I've got this powerful business. I'm really good at it. I'm running it, you know, but I just can't find love. Pattern could be over there. That is why your consciousness goes over there. So past lives don't really exist. Everything is just here and right now in consciousness. So but what part of your consciousness, where along the path of your consciousness did you have this pattern, this core pattern initiating? And when we get that, and then we change that connection over there, that attachment over there, that emotional attachment. So we're not trying to change the experience, just the emotional attachment. It's called the Gestalt intervention. Then by default, that pattern of that gladiator that might have been your great ancestor over there, that pattern is different, so it almost like ripples through time, and then your life experience starts to change. And so I feel for many of you, where we are right now, in the space where we are right now, globally are right now, there are so many things that started, Leo, to come up to the forefront that is not working. And a lot of these things haven't been working for a very long time, but we never really needed to go and sort of look at it. We never really needed to go and focus on it. But now that we are, I believe that the period where we are at the moment is the collective human consciousness, which is really just one consciousness that is experienced individually, kind of realize, like, listen, things are not working out. Because as humans, we kind of brought ourselves to a verge where, when you really think about it, we could self-destruct. You know, we standing on this precipice where we can start becoming extinct. And we can, you know, there's even the real possibility of self-destruction. And there's that, you know, that consciousness, is all consciousness, we're all part of that, we're all an expression of that. Says like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's just take it easy peasy over here. You're going a little bit far. And I feel for many of you, Leo, you may have felt the punches left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. Of life, of love, and everything. But now there's a sense of peace that is coming about for you that might have been in your life for a period over there, because it's like you are getting the lesson. It's like you are getting life. And I think one of the wonderful things about you, Leo, and if you're cross-watching, this is a wonderful thing to actually know about, Leo. And always, if cross-watching, please always cross-watch with the intention of getting a better understanding of the person, how you can maybe better love them, not to bring them down. Okay, so if you're looking at this right now, one of the things that Leo has, one of their superpowers basically, is that Leo can always see potential. Can see potential in others, but sometimes we don't see that potential in ourselves when life becomes very heavy. And I feel that was the case for many of you, but I feel that you've gotten through that, you know. Maybe there were very challenging things that you had to face. You maybe had to move, maybe something with your job, maybe something with your relationship, family, friends, health, those sort of things. Investments may be going south. But I feel there's a sense of peace. There's a and this I feel coming about for you, Leo, because there's a sense of alignment within you, which makes you the most perfect candidate for love at this point in time. Okay. From this space, if you are at that space at the moment, or it's a space that you would like to work towards, from that space you can create absolutely anything, because it's a space of spiritual, I suppose you can call it spiritual awakening, but it's more like alignment. Let's see what the Cosmic Mother is letting you all know. First quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. Okay, now when we say this, let me just tell you a little bit about this. This could be a commitment that you're already with someone at the moment, but this could also be your commitment to just the essence of life itself. You feel like, oh, what's the point? You know, and when we feel like that, and when we give out that sort of energy, then life has to respond to that. So what we give out is what we get back. And where is the thing in life where we normally hit the hardest? It's love. You know, so when we say your commitment is being tested, let me just tell you a little bit about that. So in your subconscious mind, with your consciousness, you know, same way we have DNA that kind of like let us look a certain way and be a certain way and act a certain way, that consciousness carries through. Because remember, in the space of consciousness, time doesn't exist. Time is something that was created for human beings to be able to operate functionally in life. I mean, time isn't even the same at different parts in the world. And it's human consciousness that decided that, to have that flow. How do we work together? What do we create? And so humans created time. But when you look at that consciousness from that gladiator all the way through to this beautiful 35-year-old woman now, that consciousness is still there. Until you say, you know what, I don't need this any longer. Because here's the simple truth, that when we adapt a certain pattern for ourselves, or, you know, a certain thought pattern, if you think it long enough, it becomes a belief, and then it becomes a habit, and then it's your personality. you know. It's just basically reinforcing the same thing over and over and over. If you plant a seed in soil that is fertile soil, and you look after it, and you kind of give it water, and if it's snowing, you kind of cover it, and if it's too much shade or sun, you give it shade, eventually that seed is going to grow into its potential. And so and it's the same thing with thought patterns and beliefs. And if we don't communicate to that gladiator over there that you don't have to have this thought pattern anymore, you don't have to feel this powerlessness, that feeling of like, oh my goodness, nothing's ever going to work out for me, I'm never going to feel love, I'm not going to experience love, I'm never going to be able to, I don't know, dance with my fair maiden and turn blue ribbons around a pillar sort of thing. When you have that belief ripples through consciousness. It doesn't go anywhere, because consciousness doesn't go anywhere. Consciousness just expands. So when you have that belief and you go forward in life to where we are right now as a 35-year-old woman, that belief is still there. And in all your manifestation, life has to acknowledge that until you say, thank you very much, but I don't need it any longer. That is what brings you that sense of peace. That sort of peace that surpasses all understanding. But ever so often, because the mind is it's a mechanic of habit, it will try to sometimes revert you back to that previous pattern because it believes that it might serve you best. Okay, so sometimes we feel like, oh my goodness, is this even a good thing to do right now? And those are the times when we sometimes want to listen to our mind. You really want to listen to your mind sometimes, and you want to sort of like just observe it. What is this mind telling you right now? Because the same mind that can tell you something terrible about someone, they do something fantastic for you, and then it tells you something wonderful about them. Or maybe you're friends with somebody for 20 years and it's a beautiful friendship. They do one little thing, the mind's like, do you see? You want to always kind of ask yourself, do you actually want to listen? Do you want to adopt as a truth for yourself what this mind is telling you right now? Do you want to have this manifestation in your life? Okay, now we're looking at love. Let's see what are some of the blockages for love. Especially for those of you that feel that your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to a new way of being, to a new way of life, to a new way of love, with a person. King of Pentacles had flipped around over there. Some of you don't want to look at something. King of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and King of Wands. I feel that for some of you, Leo, it's like you might be feeling also a sense of like you're not getting to commit to the right person, that things are not working out for you, that you're not getting that connection that your heart desires, that you can feel yourself to be ready for. You feel you're ready, others say you're ready, you sense yourself being ready, you are ready for love, and it's just not happening. Now, whilst it's a very good idea to definitely have sort of like a type and a sort of person that you want to be with and how you want this connection to be, you want to have those sort of clarities in your mind. But I feel for some of you, you are setting, and you maybe want to ask yourself this, if you are not setting unrealistically high goals. Because one of the main reasons why we sometimes as human beings set unrealistically high goals is because we don't really want to achieve what we believe ourselves to want to achieve, or what we say we want to achieve, So you say that, okay, I want this and I want that, and I want it to be like this and I want it to be like that, and I want this and this and this and this and this and this and that. And this is my ideal person and this is my ideal partner. Or maybe you got yourself very set on it has to be Mary, it has to be James, it has to be this person. And one of the main ways in life that we sometimes hold ourselves back from the beauty of love is because we've got that set idea that it has to be that person, and your mind is telling you that they are the one, they are the twin flame, they are the soulmate, they are your counterpart, your better half, your divine male, your divine feminine, all those sort of things. But sometimes again you want to really listen to that mind. You want to take a pause and you want to say, okay, am I not setting unrealistically high goals for myself? because there is a way in which the ego will sometimes keep us from getting what we say we want to get. So you're saying, no, I'm open for love. I want to experience love. I want to experience the beauty of love. I want to experience that beautiful connection. I want to have that closeness, you know, and I want to have it with this particular person or with that sort of person, or this is how it must be. Now, again, please understand that I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a vision and a goal and a dream for what it is that you want to have in love. All I'm saying is sometimes we set that bar so high that we know for a fact that we're not going to be able to get that, or we kind of completely place our heart on a person that's not really available for love, you know. And sometimes people are very clear. They say, I just want to be your friend. I'm not ready for this right now. I'm still dealing with the loss, that sort of thing. I'm trying to get my own life in order. And we don't want to hear that. We say, no worries, baby. I will give you time. I will give you the time that we need. And then sometimes by that action, we're not just holding ourselves back, but we're also holding the other person back. The Four of Cups is letting you know there. Maybe you've got a solid thing going already. Maybe there's a good plan for you already for love. But maybe you need to let go of these preconceived ideas. This is how it must be. There's many people that sometimes come for me for private readings or even regression hypnosis, and they say to me, so I'm in love with this person. This person is my soulmate. This person is my destiny. This is my twin flame. So I want you to help me to be able to be with that person. And the question is then really, how do you know this is your person? Because if this was really your person, and if you were really that in alignment, and they were that in alignment with each other, you would be together. It really is that simple. Maybe they're just a lesson. Maybe, sorry, maybe they are what we sometimes like to call a false twin, which is just a lesson. We like to put these labels on things, you know. Because these days, it seems like nobody's in relationships anymore. Nobody's just with someone anymore. Everybody's with their twin flame. Now you're with your twin flame 7 times, you know. Don't try to make life so, don't try to create these boxes for yourself. Because as soon as you can release this idealistic idea of how love must be, as soon as you can release this idea and you can let go of that peacefully, there's that beautiful connection right there, King of Wands. There's that beautiful connection for you right there, okay? So, by this inner peace that you're having, maybe life is testing you. Are you gonna stay in where you are? Are you gonna stick with what it is that you say that you want to have? And sometimes you are being encouraged to release certain things, certain ideas. And because here's a simple thing, as human beings, we often believe that we know the best about a situation at any given time. But the simple truth of the matter is you do not. Because we only see a part of the map. We only see a part of the full picture. And then sometimes, you know, we believe that we can make decisions that is best for everything and everyone. But the simple truth is we don't see everything and we don't see everyone. We don't see all the angles. You know, and you get someone like a Virgo, they're usually better at seeing the different angles. But then that normally gives them anxiety. Or you may have a strong Virgo in your chart. But as soon as you can maybe release of the idealistic idea of how things must be, that is often how the wonderful thing comes through. And then that false twin or whatever name it is that you want to use, you come to see how that person played the divine part in bringing you to the reality, the experience of reality that you actually seek. Okay. Let's see what the universe has for you at the present point. There's another 4. So remember, we had the 4 of Cups. Now we've got the 4 of Wands. 4s are about stability. Stability in your experience as a soul, having a human being experience. You've got the 4 of Wands first, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the 7 of Swords. So you see, there's a bit of a sneakiness at play here. Okay? There's a bit of a sneakiness sort of like at play here. And that sneakiness, we're not looking for things on the other person, we look at your energy. Because whatever you give out and whatever you align with and whatever you are tuned with is what you experience. Okay? There's inner joy coming in here. There's a movement towards beautiful inner joy, beautiful reasons to celebrate life, beautiful reasons to celebrate moments. The Four of Wands is also sometimes referred to as the marriage card, but it is that beautiful energy that comes from within you that creates the portal that was always available for you to walk through peacefully towards more of where it is that you want to experience life. The wheel is certainly and very slowly turning for you, but it's definitely turning in a direction where you can experience lots of good luck. But there's still that fear of loss for many of you there with the Seven of Swords. There's still that fear of what if it doesn't work out? Having a backup plan. Let me tell you something about backup plans and, you know, having an open door, so just in case type of thing. Sometimes we think that is the responsible thing to do. Now, we're speaking about love here. Sometimes we think it is a responsible thing to do, you know, just in case it doesn't work out, just in case you keep your little black book hidden way back in the vault in the bank. But that backup plan that we sometimes have at the back there is what's causing the problems, because remember, life has to acknowledge everything that you bring to the table. And that's when we start to deal with people. They're like, I don't know, there seems to be something about you that I just can't trust, that I find so difficult. It's like there's a sneakiness about that situation. And you're like, what are you talking about? Because, you know, in love, we think with our emotions, so we start to think third parties and those sort of things. But it could really just be that that back door that you keep open. Life has to keep on giving you something to keep on falling back on. Okay, let's see what are some final closing messages that the universe has for you, Leo. Sorry, I presented quite a long online tarot, not tarot, Reiki class, so I've been speaking non-stop for about 3 hours there. So you've got the Death card, the Ace of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Okay. So again, this is about the release that is taking place over here. A peaceful release. The Death card is about peaceful release, and it's number 13. 1, new beginnings. 3, it's about inner strength and stability. And 1 plus 3 equals 4. So it speaks about more stability coming over here. Divine intervention, love. For those of you that are looking for love, for those of you that are with a partner and you're wishing this person will just pull up their damn socks type of thing. I see this happening for you. I see beautiful breakthroughs. I feel that for some of you now, this is only for some of you. I feel that for some of you, you might have been dealing with a person that didn't really fully appreciate the value of what you add to their life. They sort of just look at what they do and not what you do, sort of thing. I feel a quick turnaround there where that person actually realizes the value you bring to them. And I feel there's a release that's taking place over here, a beautiful release, you know, forgiving each other, speaking about things, that sort of thing, which really brings a beautiful flow of unity. Okay. Sometimes we need to have that conversation. I feel that you know that it's time. Okay. So let's look at what crystal energy will benefit you, Leo. And you can either work with this crystal if you have it, if you wanna, you know, you can buy it, or you can just read up about the crystal as well, about the energy, and then maybe work with the energy, because remember that all energy, all possibilities is already inside of us. And if you can have the willingness to work towards what the crystal can give you, and you're willing to work with the universe, you don't actually need to have the actual physical crystal either. But you've got Sunstone, which I love, and it speaks about empowerment. And this is really lovely. This speaks about things going to the next level. This is almost like that sun card energy that we get in the Major Arcana in Tarot, the highest vibrational card in the deck. I love Sunstone because when you use Sunstone, so I normally use crystals in a lot of the things that I do, like either crystal Reiki, or if I do like a hypnosis session, like a regression session. Sunstone is a really great crystal for that, because what it does, it sort of like elevates your energy. You can almost think of it like happy sort of hormones in a sense. You know, it just elevates your energy in such a way that you've got happiness coming about. And when you raise your vibration like that, wonderful things come to you, because you are that magnet for that positive energy to manifest in your life. And one of the most wonderful ways in which positive things can manifest in our life is love. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Leo. I hope that helps you. I'd really appreciate you liking the video if that resonates with you. I'd like to thank all of you that are making beautiful donations to the channel, who help me to do, you know, these readings, which I love to do. I always welcome your comments. If it resonates with you, I welcome you to subscribe to the channel, to hit that notification bell. If that's something that you'd like to do, I'd really appreciate that. If you want to have a personal reading with me, my email address is down below in the description. So either a personal tarot reading, maybe you're interested in some NLP Life Coaching, Regression, Hypnosis, simply let me know, send me an email, we find you a slot, and we do that for you. So thank you so much for your time. Namaste, love and light. See you next time.